Welcome into A to Z Sports, prime time on a Wednesday night. Unfortunate circumstances that we are coming to you under. Vanderbilt's season is effectively over in the College World Series tonight. The game is still ongoing. The result is all but decided for the Vandy boys. Unfortunately for them and for all of us, for the city of Nashville, it's been a disappointing way to see the way that they went out. So tonight we're going to talk about the Vandy boys, and we'll get into the College World Series. We'll talk about Mississippi State and the success that they've been able to achieve. Before we get going here on the Primetime Show, you guys need to share this show across all of the social platforms. If you're with us on Twitter, do like I've just done and retweet the show in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you're hanging out with us on Facebook Live, you can share now to public in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. If you are on YouTube or on Twitch, go ahead and subscribe to the A to Z Sports channel, where you can get all of this live streaming content Sunday through Friday when we are pumping it out to you, and sometimes on Saturdays even. And now that more of you are here, we can go ahead and begin this conversation officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on a Wednesday night from the DraftKings Sportsbook Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by the fine folks at Two Rivers Ford. Since 1983, American-made quality Ford vehicles with award-winning customer service. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get in on all the action, NBA playoffs, College World Series no longer, but MLB, NHL as well. DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code A to Z Sports is how you get involved. I'll tell you more about one of their great offers later on. The Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage, your dream address without the stress, is what the Ashton team can provide to you at GaryAshton.com. And of course, Brymak Mechanical, for satisfaction guaranteed on all of their HVAC needs, all of your HVAC needs, commercially or residentially, at Brymak.com. So, State State will eventually get this championship, this College World Series championship. I haven't turned it off. I've still got it on in the office. But Vanderbilt down 9-0 currently, a 3-run home run really kind of broke things open here in the seventh inning. And so now it seems like the path to victory for Mississippi State is all but inevitable at this point. So what I want to ask you guys is, give me one word to describe this Vanderbilt baseball season. They had the opportunity to defend their national championship in 2019 because, of course, the 2020 College World Series was canceled due to COVID. Give me one word to describe what Vanderbilt's season has been to you. Let me know in the comments section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Jeff Rubel says this must make Zach Bingham sick as hell, being an old piss fan. Jeff Rubel, clearly not here to entertain or have any love for Ole Miss and Oxford, Zach Bingham's alma mater. But yes, I'm certain. What does Zach call it? The cow patty town of Starkville, Mississippi. I'm pretty sure the entire population of Starkville is in Omaha for the College World Series. It was Mississippi State's night, says Tory Points. Back to back, it seems. These were not competitive games. So let me know in the comment section what you think with one word to describe Vanderbilt's baseball season. We'll get into it over the course of this evening, right after I tell you about the people who present the Two Rivers Ford Take, because this is, of course, what we are doing. Your Two Rivers Ford Take here in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Give me one word to describe what Vandy's season has been to you. While you guys do that, I will tell you about what's happening at Two Rivers Ford. What's new, you may ask me, at Two Rivers Ford these days? A lot, actually. If you haven't been following Ford lately, they've introduced some amazing vehicles. The all-new 2021 F-150 with a power onboard generator. The 2022 all-electric F-150 Lightning, the Ford Maverick pickup, the all-electric Mustang Mach-E, and of course, the Bronco is back. When it comes to technology, Ford is cutting edge, like the Ford Pass app that lets you start your car from your phone and alerts you when you need service. But honestly, what makes Two Rivers Ford the best Ford dealer around is what isn't new. And that's the fact that they've been giving their customers the same honest, upfront pricing and unparalleled buying experience since 1983. So if you're in the market for a vehicle, contact one of the non-commissioned sales staff at Two Rivers Ford and see what Ford has to offer. Two Rivers Ford, powered by Ford, and of course, driven by people. One word to describe Vanderbilt's season. That's the question that we're asking you guys. Circumstances, says Jeff Rubel. Well, so Jeff, I don't know if that's your one word, but that's an interesting comment because there were a lot of unique circumstances in this College World Series for Vanderbilt. Now, Jeff may have been just saying the word circumstances, but I'm going to assume that that's Jeff's one word. So, I mean, the circumstances that really find Vandy even in this series are due to a no contest. Now, maybe Vanderbilt would have been able to advance past NC State in the second game of their double elimination bracket against them, but they did not have the opportunity. NC State was no contested. They were disqualified. Their season ended. Vanderbilt immediately advanced to the College World Series. So unique circumstances for this Vandy boys team heading to Omaha, three straight delayed games in a row, and then, back-to-back blowouts at this point. We'll see what the final score ends up being for Vandy against Mississippi State, barring an unprecedented comeback. I assume that Mississippi State is going to go on from here to win the College World Series. Diane Queener Stanley says, "Go Dogs." Well, at least somebody in the comments is happy about the situation for Mississippi State. I would have loved to seen Vanderbilt win for the city of Nashville, for Vandy fans, because this is their thing, right? College baseball is what Vanderbilt fans do. One word to describe one word to describe Vandy's season, basically, in the comments on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Tough loss, go Vols, says Cole Hawkins. Yeah, not a lot of love lost in the comment section tonight. Anchors, L Boogie 808 says, nowhere to be seen. They're not down, they're not up, they're nothing. No anchors tonight for Vanderbilt. D. Thomas says, no Vandy boys lucked out. No asterisks on their national championship. Man, you guys, you have no chill. But that is a funny point. Yes, nobody will have to debate whether Vandy is a legitimate champion or not, because they've just flat out lost in these last two games. Unfortunate to see that come down the line the way that it did if you're in Nashville or if you're a Vandy fan in general. Brad Lipford says, don't really give a damn, but their offense went to shit. That's my one word. So I'll give you mine here in just a second, but like kind of taking this on face value, I was surprised because of what it is that Vandy does best. And what Vandy does best is pitching. Now, obviously, Kumar Rocker got pulled in this game. He was their Game 3 starter. They rested him sufficiently. I thought they may have thought about speeding him up and getting him ready to go for Game 2, but they opted not to, and this was the result. Now, I'm not saying that it would have made any difference in last night to where Vandy now finds itself getting ready to go down 2-1 and on the losing side of the College World Series. But I'll tell you what my one word is here in just a second to summarize Vandy's season, and we'll read more of your comments momentarily right after I tell you about DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Not only my favorite sportsbook, but, as I mentioned, America's top-rated sportsbook. New bettors can find plenty of instructions. There's nearly limitless ways to get in on all the action, and the app itself is easy to navigate. DraftKings Sportsbook is safe, secure, and reliable, so you can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code A to Z Sports when you sign up to have a shot at claiming $150 in free credits. You do that by betting on the basketball team of your choice to win their next game, and if they do, you will claim $150 in free credits, in addition to your wager cashing. That's promo code A to Z Sports for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, Tennessee only. Wager paid out, in-site credits. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. One word to describe the Vandy boys season. Brent Matlock says, love seeing Candy get their butt kicked. Man, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I mean, listen, I understand the relationship between Vanderbilt and Tennessee fans, okay? But I really am surprised to see the amount of bitterness in the comment section tonight. Zach hasn't tweeted about Mississippi State recently, says Edmund. Well, there's a good one, they're supposed to be on vacation, but I talked to Austin and Zach today, and they're very much involved in the growing of the A to Z Sports Media Company, or A to Z Sports Media, or what is it? A to Z Media LLC. I should probably know this. This is where I get one of my paychecks. But they are on vacation, but they're not really on vacation. Adam Bolt _Holt, one of our great writers, who is also a Bulldogs fan, giving us the eyeball emoji. So clearly he's fired up about his university winning their first championship in any sport whatsoever. That was not something that I realized until recently. But somebody put it to me like this on Twitter earlier, at Hopes and Memes on Twitter, says having a distinct pitching advantage coming into the series against a lower seed and getting absolutely waxed in games 2 and 3 is a rough beat. That's why my one word to describe Vanderbilt's season is absolutely, waxed is my one word, but I would add absolutely waxed, because that is exactly the result that has taken place for these Vandy boys. Daniel Ferris says, as a Vandy boys fan, I'm so disappointed. I mean, I understand this is an incredibly disappointing outcome. They got their butts kicked in these last 2 games. A strong showing in game 1, but really, we have seen what we have seen from Vanderbilt in this College World Series, and really throughout the course of this postseason, is a lack of consistency in a way that is surprising to me. Cedrin says he loves to see it. I'm neutral in all of this. I would have loved to see Vandy win for the city. It was my understanding. I talked to some city officials the other day. If Vandy had won, they would have been honored at Nashville's 4th of July ceremony, which would have been, or celebration, which would have been really cool. But of course, now at this point, that is not in the cards. How about getting outscored 22-2 the past 2 nights, says Brent Matlock. Yeah, the final results on tonight's game are not in, but that is absolutely so. This Vanderbilt team got demolished. They got absolutely waxed against Mississippi State. That is my one word to describe Vanderbilt's season so far. When you have Coach Vitello on your radio show, probably means it just means more on the hill, says Brad. Yeah, Tony Vitello has been our College World Series analyst, of course, the Vols baseball coach, and he picked Mississippi State to go out and win definitively in game 2. Now, I didn't text Coach Vitello for his prediction today, but I saw a lot of the characteristics that Tony described in this Mississippi State team and how they rebounded from game 1. Damn, since you put it that way, 22-2, says El Boogie 808. Yes, that is an exceptional stat provided to us by Brent Matlock in the comment section on Facebook. It is an embarrassment what's happened to Vanderbilt. Stupid quiet bat, says Puka, who is of course a Vandy fan. It's unfortunate, but the offense just was not there, and Kumar Rocker suffered as a result of the way that the Vanderbilt defense was playing tonight. It was an unfortunate performance, but it was largely a collapse. Let's move on and let's talk about this Vanderbilt season so far. What would have been? Well, I guess so. Here's the question. Here's how I want to put it. Okay, State is the last team I wanted to lose to, says Cody. So I guess Cody is a Vanderbilt fan. So here's the question that I want to pose to you. Okay, what decided this game, tonight's game, more? Because it's of course still ongoing. I've got it on here in the office as we wait for the inevitable at this point, Mississippi State winning. But what more decided tonight's game? Was it the officiating, or was it Mississippi State just outright winning the game, being the better team? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Hopes and Memes, whose answer I stole and whose tweet I cited earlier, at Hopes and Memes on Twitter, who told me, as I mentioned, having a distinct pitching advantage coming into the series against a lower seed and getting absolutely waxed in games 2 and 3 is a rough beat. Yeah, that's absolutely my sentiment as well. What is it? It's Sean Hopes and Memes. So Hopes and Memes is his Twitter account. Sean is the name of the person tweeting us. So yes, I did borrow your analysis there, Sean, because it's spot on. They got smoked tonight. And really, they got smoked in the last two games. And as Brent cited for us earlier, they have been so far outscored 22-2. These Vandy boys. The defense suddenly garbage, which is shocking to me. This is good for Vandy because they ain't shit, says Cody Branch, whose emoji or whose avatar on YouTube is a power tee. So it's not like Cody's biased in all this thing. The thing that stood out to me though, and let me know in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch, what decided this game? Mississippi State or the officiating? Because the officiating tonight has been atrocious. Let me know in the comment section on Facebook Live, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. While you guys do that, I will tell you about our friends at Brymak Mechanical, Brymak. That's Brymak.com. Satisfaction guaranteed on all of your HVAC needs, whether they're commercial, whether they're residential. Brymak has you covered. Make sure that you're in your comfort zone this summer. And exciting things coming with Brymak, by the way, that I'm going to be out at an event for them later in the summer, which I'm looking forward to telling you more about because it could potentially have the ability to affect you. Brymak, Brymak.com. So what decided tonight's game? The officiating or Mississippi State simply outplaying Vanderbilt at this point? Hopes and Memes says the officiating has been horrible, but you can't argue with State's bats and bullpen. Puka says, remember, almost no hitter, lighter through, and Vandy couldn't get hit. Which is absolutely so. Mississippi State earned it tonight, says Notorious ACV on Twitter. Hats off to them. I don't say this. I don't say this to try and take anything away from Mississippi State. I just tonight and really throughout the course of this College World Series, the officiating has been horrendous. And I'm not saying that Vanderbilt was robbed by any stretch of the imagination, but there are so many ways that the officiating in the College World Series has been exposed by all of these games, not just the ones that we have watched with Vanderbilt and Tennessee involved. Cody Branch says the officiating is terrible in all college sports because these guys and girls are not truly held responsible. I mean, listen, they're part-time employees, a lot of them, but it can't have the ability to decide a national championship. Now, this did not decide. The officiating did not decide anything tonight, and really last night. Vandy just got their asses kicked. But we all came into this with an awareness that the officiating was trash. But no, Mississippi State earned everything that they have gotten to this point, and soon that will be being crowned the College World Series champions of 2021. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about it here on A to Z Sports Prime Time from the DraftKings Sportsbook Studios. Charles Hardaway says Vandy was lucky to even be there. And I would disagree with that contention. I mean, Vanderbilt is really good. Vanderbilt, after Arkansas didn't make the College World Series, it was Vandy and it was Texas as the two teams that should have been favored. Rightfully so. The defending national champions, the best 1-2 punch in all of college baseball pitching with Kumar Rocker and Jack Leiter. The batting has been poor. Really, they came into tonight's game. This is a stat that I got from Dari Noka earlier today of the SEC Network. Dari tweeted out that they came into tonight's game hitting 198, Vanderbilt, in the College World Series. Atrocious in a way that we did not expect. Consistency has been a struggle, but the bats have been largely silent. And I know they've just broken up this no-hitter because, of course, that would be a horrifically embarrassing way for Vanderbilt to be able to go down. But if you're telling me what decided the series, it was Mississippi State absolutely being a prolific team. Lucky play, BS force to forfeit, says Charles Hardaway. I don't know what that's not a coherent comment. I don't understand what you're saying there. Vandy deserved to be there as much as anyone, says Cody. Absolutely so. Vandy, Buckethead, man. Buckethead always trying to start the fire. No asterisks needed. Hate to see it. That's right. Vandy would have been tainted had they been the College World Series champions this year because of the way. You know what? No, I don't. Bucket's doing it to be funny, and he's right because it is a funny joke, and especially if Vanderbilt would have won because they would have gone crazy if people would have trolled them that way, saying that they were somehow not a true champion. But I'm so tired of NC State shit. Like, just shut up. Just shut up already. The idea that they've continued to allow the narrative that Tim Corbin and Vanderbilt somehow had some involvement and then getting eliminated, just kind of letting it fester in a way that is noticeable, just awful. No accountability when NC State's ability to get eliminated was completely under their control. When 7 other teams don't have an issue with COVID and you are the team that has been fairly public about not getting vaccinated, which is completely under your control. I'm not vax shaming anybody. I'm sick and tired of nobody holding NC State accountable and just looking at the NCAA and then continuing to think that somehow Vandy had a hand in it. That's just bullshit. It's total bullshit. State would have needed an asterisk as well, right? They didn't have to play NC State either. Says Cody. Yeah, it's just a troll, Cody. Don't get bent out of shape about it. Larry Clinard says horse hockey. Sounds like you are vax shaming, says Old Paul. No, I'm not vax shaming. I'm just saying everybody else had the ability to control it. NC State chose not to control it, whatever their reasons were. They may have very good reasons to not get vaccinated. And hell, some of them, 4 players who were vaccinated, did test positive for COVID-19, but those who chose not to ran the risk of infecting their vaccinated teammates. So when you say I'm vax shaming, no, I'm not at all. I'm saying that in sports, it is about the controllables. I talked to an NFL head coach via press conference entirely more often than I should. And you know what I come out of those press conferences with, and what every media member who's ever covered a sport has ever come out of a press conference with? Listening to a coach tell you that you can only control what we can control. You know what was controllable? Your ability to get vaccinated. Old Ball says, sounds like you still are. No, I'm stupid shaming. I'm not vax shaming. It's a difference. This just happens to be in the category of vaccinations. If you're dumb, get gone. I'm not vaccinated either, but I'm not on a College World Series team, says Cody. That's what I'm saying. Like, people have plenty of reasons to not get vaccinated. I've talked to you guys about my personal choice and why I thought that it was beneficial for me to be vaccinated, and why I largely think that it's beneficial to most people to be vaccinated. But of course, there are exceptions, without question. And I'm not one of these people that's going to hammer you over the head and think that you're some kind of shit human being just because you chose not to get vaccinated. But if you're going to bitch about it when you get tossed from the College World Series, I'm not going to have any sympathy for you, because every other sport is going through this. And the NFL is going to, this is probably going to bite the NFL in the ass, because I know the Titans are well under 50% vaccinated when it comes to the players. Coaches, however, have controlled their controllables and gotten themselves vaccinated, Mike Vrabel included. So an abbreviated show tonight. We wanted to make sure that we talked about Vandy. It's unfortunate that they were not able to come out of this as the College World Series champions, but it is the result that we find ourselves in tonight, with Vanderbilt just a few innings away from crowning, or having Mississippi State crowned the College World Series champions. Charles Hardaway says, bad pitch to give Vandy the game. Then because State forced to forfeit, it's not the NCAA's decision to force a vaxxed NC. Again, Charles Hardaway, your comments are not coherent. Like, what I'm trying to read is to force a vax, and they let a stadium full of unmasked people in the stadium. That's a BS excuse. No, they got no contest. Again, there's precedent for this. There's total precedent for this. They did the same thing to VCU when they were getting ready to play Oregon in the college March Madness, college basketball. It's just it is what it is. Old Ball says, I think it's a great night. Hail State. Yeah, I understand. I understand that there are more Vols fans than there are Vandy fans. Vols fans are not shedding a tear for Vandy's losses tonight. But as a resident of Nashville, I would have loved to see a local team win. I always love to see local teams win, because it's good for the city. It's good for the people that I get to talk to on a regular basis, even if the majority of you are not fans of the team who is currently losing in the College World Series tonight. On the way out the door, a quick reminder about the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage at GaryAshton.com. Your dream address without the stress. Don't sell without the intel that the Ashton team can provide to you. Gary Ashton, the official real estate agent of the Titans, the Preds, and A to Z Sports Prime Time at GaryAshton.com. That's the end of our discussion tonight. Congratulations to Mississippi State, who will go on to win the College World Series. I have my own personal opinions about it, because Chris Lemonis, who is the skipper of of Mississippi State. I keep wanting to say NC State. Of Mississippi State, Chris Lemonis used to coach the Indiana Hoosiers, and the last time that they were in College World Series, Chris Lemonis was their coach. So congratulations to Coach Lemonis, to Mississippi State, to all of the Bulldogs fans, except the ones who were lobbing racist slurs at Vanderbilt parents in game one. D. Kelly says, ring your bell. I don't have a bell on my desk. All I have I have a great many props in my office. There's a crown over on my bookshelf, my Derrick Henry crown. But tonight we will not have any props. No cowbell for me, but a great victory for NC State. Two great games that they played in order to get them to this point. We will be back tomorrow. We will talk at length about the NFL and really about some Titans topics that I have brought your way with regards to Anthony Ferkser, an article that I've worked on for AtoZSportsNashville.com that we'll get into at great length. Radio show tomorrow, going to be a lot of fun. We will react in greater detail to the College World Series. We will talk about NFL records that have the potential to be broken in a 17-game regular season now that the regular season is expanding with our buddy Rhett Bryan of Titans Radio. So from 10 to 1 tomorrow on 104.5 The Zone or in your favorite podcast app, just search The Buck Rising Show. I'm going to go watch the rest of the NBA playoffs. Enjoy the rest of your night. Congratulations to Vandy on a successful College World Series run. Congratulations to Mississippi State fans and Mississippi State on what will be their first championship in any sport, which is insane to me. Enjoy the rest of your evening. The content is going to continue to come your way because you know what? It's fairly early in the evening, and I'm not tired yet. No!